Healing drinking fountains. So this is something that you see a lot of in the old world. These fountains were advanced technology that blended art, science, and spirituality to help both hydrate and uplift the local populace. Water is still to this day massively misunderstood, with modern science only now beginning to explore the multidimensional properties of one of life's most mysterious substances. So the spiritual symbolism shown that many cultures viewed water as sacred, using fountains adorned with symbols like lions, serpents, or mythological beings to infuse the water with protective and spiritual energy. Now this might seem a little bit arcane to most, but the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto has shown that when he took water and put a label of I love you, or I hate you, or thank you, or love and gratitude, and you disgust me, and then froze the water and looked at it under a microscope, you could see the molecular structure of the water had changed significantly, and the message had imprinted and impacted the water to show that some of it was like hexagonal snowflake-like patterns, geometrically precise patterns, whereas the negative labels had created disharmonic formations. And it makes you think, if you drink from a can of monster energy or liquid death, or whatever that you're drinking from in today's modern world with modern beverages, what is that encoding the water with? What is that imprinting the water with? What message is that uplifting? Or is it slowly killing you? Flow dynamics. Fountains are often used spirals, curves, and natural flow patterns to create living water, thought to maintain a structured and revitalized state compared to stagnant water. So this is when you get into the work of Dr. Gerald Pollack, and you can see down here his work with easy water, which means exclusion zone water. It's the fourth state of water. We're familiar with water being H2O, and when it's in this fourth state, it's H3O2. This is something, again, that we will be covering in part 4 in more detail. And it's called exclusion zone because it excludes impurities and contaminants from the water, and it creates a negative charge and a crystalline lattice structure, molecular structure in it. And this also ties into the work of Victor Schulberger, in that when you vortex water, the spiral vortex of water, it turns it into this living water, this easy water. So again, it's electrically charged, guys, and we start to look at these old water fountains, like look how much detail and attention has been given to a water fountain. Do you really think that much attention and detail was given just for aesthetic purposes? Of course it had a function to it. Everything was done by design, attention to detail, and detail is where the spirit shows itself. That's why there's no detail left in this modern world. They've taken the detail, everything's mass produced, everything's surface level, but the depth of the detail is where the spirit's intelligence manifests. And you look at this is from Victoria Tower here in London. Imagine again, just look at this Antiquitech here on this building, harnessing through this rod. The bells broadcast it out. This bit here picks up the charge, and it spirals down the spire into the water itself. Holy water. Again, what are we using? Wrought iron here. Wrought iron, it's ferromagnetic, so it has the most magnetic potential, and you see a lot of wrought iron on all of these buildings, which I'll show you in further on in the presentation. That the wrought iron is what I believed you see it on gates, you see it on fences, you see it everywhere, because that was the conductor, and that's what picked up the electromagnetic energy that was broadcasted from these machines. But again, look at the tech on top. Look at the tech on top. It's all to do with being able to create living water. This is in Philadelphia, this one here. Poseidon face. What's Poseidon doing in Philadelphia in the 1800s? Get your own gods, guys. Why what's with all the paganism? What's with all the pagan gods? Again, more designs from, you know, you got Hermes up here with the caduceus. I mean, I didn't even know, I know the caduceus is symbolic as well for the double helix. You know, Francis Crick hadn't even discovered double helix by then. But yet they've got it on here, water affecting the DNA. The different faces, you know, gargoyles or lions or different sort of alchemical symbolism. Again, this was one of the exhibitions, World Fair exhibitions. You know, they've taken that from us now. Water is heavily privatized. It all used to be publicly available. Healing, holy water for all. Let's zoom out of this. So the antique fountains often incorporated metal like copper and bronze, which have natural antimicrobial properties to help purify the water as it flowed through these materials. Again, bronze, copper is something that's used in Ayurvedic medicine or Ayurvedic tools. And also copper is a conductive metal. So again, it's all about just conducting, harnessing the natural electromagnetic spectrum and energy. Fountains have been placed on ley lines to amplify natural earth energies, charging the water with beneficial properties or subtle energies and electromagnetic fields. Fountains were designed with shapes like circles, triangles and spirals, believed to resonate with specific frequencies that enhance the water's health-giving effects. So again, the spirals are some of the most important attributes in regards to the geometry, as spirals create toroidal fields. Water's conductive and memory-like qualities could allow it to retain energetic and environmental influences, supporting the idea of living water. So back to Victor Schauberger, who was a 19th century Austrian naturalist. His work with vortex and water, living water, spring water is living water. And that's the water that we don't get in today's water supply, be it bottled water or tap water, apart from the heavy contamination of pollutants in tap water. It's dead water. And that is a vital component. It's the subtle energetic component that's missing. The loss of understanding of subtle energy is something that is detrimental to all life forms. And to progress this understanding of water, in the 1800s, hydropathy was a renowned form of medical care. I've actually been to here in Matlock, which is in the Peak District of England, Smedley's hydropathic establishment. It's now shut down, but this was originally one of the original hydropathic facilities. It's always at these spa towns, and there's a number of spa towns that utilize the natural healing powers of the local springs. They call them spas. So there's Matlock Spa, Cheltenham Spa, Bath, where the famous Roman baths are, is a spa town. Royal Leamington Spa. All of these spa towns at one point in time were used as healing centers. You can see building here, Old World Antiquitech building. So this is from one of the brochures of the day, which is just showing the treatments available. So they had like Turkish baths in there, and you know they were using like cold water therapy way before it was popular and cool and hip to do. You know, they were using ice baths, they were using steam rooms and saunas, they were doing, you know, cold shock therapy. They were doing, you know, using saunas, heat shock proteins, something that Dr. Rhonda Patrick always talks about. Artificial sunlight therapy, electric treatment, pine baths. I thought this was interesting. High power parabolic reflector. You know, they'd wrap people in cold towels and get the body to naturally respond to that, Wim Hof style. And then this, look at this, the ultraviolet ray. This was based off, high frequency medicine, based off a Tesla coil. The violet ray, kind of a new age idea, but still that is grounded in some science. This kind of builds up, this was the foundation that Royal Raymond Rife built his frequency devices off. You can still buy these things today. They're classed as like, pseudo medicine, but it's all frequency, it all works. And they knew this back then. And they utilized this technology. And that was eventually closed down, and they ended up destroying the building. As you do, removal evidence.
If you enjoyed this presentation and feel inspired to support both yourself and this channel, then head over to primalalchemy.co.uk. Awaken your potential with the world's only visionary health brand. Discover our collection of tonic herbal elixirs, rare crystals, and holistic health technologies. All chosen and created with intention, so you can focus on the energy you bring into your life. Whether you're grounding yourself, seeking clarity, or elevating your routine, Primal Alchemy supports every step of your journey. Use code REBUS10 for 10% off all superfood elixirs at primalalchemy.co.uk.